Now, it's not every day that you have a game on the older systems that is still alive and well 20 some years later. 20 years later, to be exact. But Metal Gear is no ordinary game. And I thought it was about time I sat down and put it in and gave it a try. Haven't played it since high school. And that was a long time ago when it first came out. And it was right about here, in the very beginning of the game, that I sat down and said, ah, f***, I need like a pen and paper already to write down some frequencies for my radio. This game is like epic, and I completely forgot that it takes like 700 hours to complete. Now, as you can see, there's a weapons and an equipment category, aside from your transceiver. And this game definitely is cool because it has cigarettes in it. I mean, you just don't see that in games anymore, except for the Metal Gear series. Perhaps it's the only one where you can equip a pack of cigarettes, and I don't know. You gotta love that. And a little side note, this game was notorious for its bad English translations, like I feel asleep, things like that. So it's kind of cute to look back on it after all these years and see that they didn't really proofread the text for the English versions. But that's, you know, neither here nor there. Back to the game. Now, the thing you should know about Metal Gear that really separates it from the other games of the time is that it's a stealth game, and may have been the first stealth game. That's probably debatable, but yeah, it's the earliest one I remember that explicitly uses stealth as a way to advance in the game. Now, see, that's one thing I never liked, and I totally forgot about until it just happened to me. Was that whenever you leave a screen, even if it's just to go in a little sub room in the screen and come back onto the screen, if there was an enemy there and you killed him, he's comes back to life. And even when you use the binoculars, which is greatly annoying, especially if you put the binoculars on by accident, and then, you know, all of a sudden you're faced with the same enemies again you just killed. And they usually kill you at that point because you're probably low on energy from fighting them the first time. Now, you'll notice I'm fumbling through the menus a little bit, and it's because I'm just not used to the game. The select button pulls up your sub-menus for your equipment and weapons and all that stuff. And one of your buttons is like a back button. I forget which one it is, and I always get it confused. So I'll try and select something, and I'll hit the back button by accident. And you'll see I just died, and I had to continue already. I've only gotten maybe 5 screens in, 4 or 5 screens in, and but when you continue, the good thing is you keep all the equipment that you previously acquired. because this game has no save feature. So aside from being, you know, epic and like taking 8 zillion hours to complete, yeah, there's not even a save option. So this game was equipped with a pass key. So whenever you hit end, if you're done playing and you die and you don't want to continue anymore and you hit end, it will give you a pass key, and you put that in the very beginning title scene, and that's a way to continue there. Of course, you have to write down the pass key, so you gotta have a pen and paper handy. And with Metal Gear, a notebook's probably more appropriate, because there's a lot of things you have to write down, like different radio frequencies and all kinds of little odds and ends, and sometimes you even have to draw little maps, from what I remember. At least that's how I helped navigate this game back in 1988 when it first came out. By the way, these are like the dumbest guards ever. You could just stand there for a long time and they don't really notice you. They just kind of twirl around. But you hit one and all of a sudden he's like, "Ow!" And the other guy wakes the fuck up and starts chasing you. And he's all, "Hey, you just gave my friend 3 karate chops in the back and he disappeared, so I better shoot these baseball-sized bullets at you." Anyhow, enough dumb commentary for me. Our basic goal here is to get out of the jungle woods and into the buildings where the real action is, because we have to find the operative Gray Fox. And yeah, I'm finding it difficult to get out of the woods. And incidentally, this whole wood scene wasn't even in the original version that was released in Japan for the MSX system. Yeah, I think it started right in the building, and so yeah, I died again. So I'm gonna skip ahead here, thanks to the magic of editing. And here we go. I finally figure out how to get like towards the buildings. And I had a real deja vu moment here in the back of that truck. I remember it was kind of a quirky little scene from the game that it just stuck with my memory. And also, this is where I screwed up trying to be a little too stealth from the guard, and I hopped in this truck, which I didn't realize at the time, but it's kind of a way to skip ahead, like a warp zone in Mario Brothers. You can skip ahead to different doors via a couple different trucks to advance in the game if you want to. Skip a lot and just kind of get right to the meat of it. But I didn't want to do that, especially for something like a review. And speaking of reviews, this one's going to have to be like a 10 or 15 parter, because I really did forget just how epic and long this game really was. And I just looked at my box of Nintendo games and I saw, oh, Metal Gear. That'll be a good one to review. Not really thinking ahead that it's, it takes like, a lifetime to actually beat it. Not literally, but, good couple months. And a lot of passcode writing. So I'm going to get back to this really soon with part 2, so we can get into some actual real gameplay too. Alright, this is Dommy from Classic Games Revisited. Until next time.